New comic books for June 16th, 2021. Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, comic book fan. Welcome to the latest episode of the weekly VM Campos Comic Book Club. This is the series where I count down the top 10 first issues debuting this week. It's episode 273 for June 16th, 2021. Halfway through the year already? Where does the time go? Probably into all of that comic book reading. I've got another top 10 list for you. We'll cover the comics that are debuting this week, the first issues that are debuting this week, so you know what to pick up when you get to your local comic shop. Tell them VM Campos sent you. If you want the audio version of the podcast, consider heading over to your favorite podcasting app, search VM Campos, and subscribe. Listen to me on the go. In the meantime, let's get to the comics. Are you watching Jupiter's Legacy on the streaming services? Did you ever read the original comic? Well, how about this brand new comic that's coming out, Jupiter's Legacy Requiem, issue 1 of 12. This is Mark Miller, Tommy Lee Edwards, collab, special double-sized issue. The next chapter in 2021 Netflix's global phenomenon begins here as Mark Miller returns for the sequel to one of his most critically acclaimed series. So if you're watching the show, you'll get a lot of insight into its future if you read the comics, and if you read this new comic, this might show you things that will happen eventually in the future of the series. Great looking interior art, great colors, great anatomy, page layout. There are a variety of variant covers. This one's the Frank Quietly one. Got some realism going on. We've got this one by Jock, which looks amazing. Jock always does this sort of impressionistic sort of stuff. And then lastly, this one by Boss Logic. We've got this sort of realism that we see here, the sort of veneer of hyper-realism that I've been seeing in a variety of covers recently. I'm torn between the Boss Logic and the Jock covers, so which one would you vote for? Tell me in the comments. Over at Dark Horse Comics, I picked Norse Mythology, Volume 2, number 1 of 6. This is co-written by Neil Gaiman and P. Craig Russell. Both Eisner Award nominees for this year. Go watch my other video about the Eisners 2021 to find out more about all the nominees. Art by Matt Horak, this is the cover, and then P. Craig Russell is the variant cover here. We've got a couple of variant covers. I like this one the most. David Mack. I always like David Mack's art a lot. This one is a little bit of a sort of a collage, found object-ish type of thing. He often does that sort of like splatter watermark effect. I like that one a little bit more. But here we have the number 1 New York Times bestselling author Neil Gaiman and Eisner Award-winning comic legend P. Craig Russell breathe new life into the ancient Norse stories by taking readers through the creation of the 9 worlds, to the epic origin and adventures of Thor, Odin, and Loki, all the way to the end of life, Ragnarok. So this is public domain, Thor and Loki. You're not going to see Tom Hiddleston here, so put your panties back on. This is volume 2 of this series, because there's always something more to tell when it comes to the world of gods. Here's another not issue number 1, but it's a one-shot collected comic. This is from Silver Sprocket, written by Whit Taylor and art by the same. So we don't get any sort of preview art or anything like that, but based on this cover, this sort of like outsider art, naive style. That's not a put down, of course. That's just an art term for someone that hasn't had formal training. I don't know if they've had formal training. It just gives me the sense of that naive art, outsider art, like Basquiat and the like. But anyway, Montana Diary. We've got an Ignatz Award-winning cartoonist documenting her road trip across Montana in this diary mini-comic, balancing millennial humor with a resonant observation about the state's complicated history. Montana Diary tells a slice of America's history, knowing that you can't separate its wonder from its tragedy. I like comics that are very personal like this. I'm glad to check out this Ignatz Award-winning creator. The Ignatz Awards are the most prestigious award for independent press comics. And so for those various reasons, this is one of my picks this week. I picked a comic that is not in issue number 1, so that means I broke my own rules. Sorry about that, but I'm going to bring you some cool stuff here. Jim Lives, The Mystery of the Lead Singer of The Doors and the 27 Club. This is by Paolo Baron and Ernesto Carbonetti. Amid the intense colors of a foreign land, Jim Lives is the story of a man searching for his son, a correspondent for a popular American newspaper, who vanished into thin air after sending one last enigmatic message. Jim Morrison isn't dead. He's hiding out in Italy. I saw him with my own eyes. So this is a sort of a fact or fiction mixing of real life in a comic book medium. As you can see here, the art is amazing. There's this great realism, very creative page layouts, beautiful colors. This is a one-shot trade paperback. Great looking cover there also. So it's not an issue number 1, but it's a comic I needed to let you know about. Are you into the Doors? Or any of that age of music? What about the 27 Club? Are you into Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse? Tell me all about it in the comments. One of the many things that I like about comic books is that they can take a classic work of fiction, and update it into another interpretation as a comic book. Clover Press is publishing The Great Gatsby, a brand new series, originally written by F. Scott Fitzgerald, adapted by Ted Adams, art by Jorge Cuervo. An all-new comic book adaptation of the classic novel. Ted Adams worked on The Island of Dr. Moreau, and the illustrator worked on Loki and Rocket Raccoon. Now, as you can see here, there's no cover art coming soon on the Previews World site, but I got you, fam. I went over directly to Clover Press so we can see the actual art, and as we can see here, zooming in, that cover art there looks pretty good. I like also this Art Deco style over here. We got a foil stamped, we got a blank sketch cover. I'm not a fan of sketch covers. What about you? Tell me in the comments. You love getting sketch covers. What's the most amazing sketch cover you ever got? Regular cover looks really good. It's the classic light in the horizon there. I like both of the two covers, not the blank one. I'm not a big blank cover guy, but I like those two other covers. And so that's the adaptation of the classic novel. Did you ever read it back in school for an assignment? Did you ever read it for yourself out of pleasure? Tell me all about it in the comments. From Aftershock, I picked Seven Swords number 1, written by Evan Darty, art by Ricardo Mattina, and this is cover art by Andy Clark. A weary and jaded D'Artagnan is drawn into a final conflict with the wicked Cardinal Richelieu, whose ruthless quest for power has led him to the supernatural. But the last musketeer can't defeat these infernal enemies alone. So this is pretty cool. This is a continuation of the Three Musketeers. We've got the last musketeer, D'Artagnan. This amazing cover shows you what you're in for. We do get some interior art. Check this out. So we've got D'Artagnan confessing and so forth, but ooh, that sort of confession is not for the faint of heart. I'm going to get demonetized on YouTube. And then we've got more battling and so forth. Do not mess with him. So if you want a new take on the classic Three Musketeers, Aftershock has a new comic for you. Next up at Boom Studios, I picked Save Yourself number 1 of 4. As I often say, I like to pick series which are limited, 4, 6 issues, whatever, because you get a complete story, eventually you get it in a trade, but I like getting the individual issues. But anyway, here we have by Bones Leopard Writer, cover art here by Kelly Matthews, Nicole Matthews. What if magical girls weren't Earth's champions at all? The main character, Gigi, witnesses the lovely trio battling a monster firsthand and sees something that causes her to question everything she thought she knew about her heroes. I love this cover. I love the design of the characters. I love the luminous aspect of it contrasted with the dark black space background. Very cool logo too. Do you ever notice the logos of comic books? I like this one. Look at the little heart and the diamond in the letters. Great Dutch angle, bird's eye view perspective. If we look at the interior art is also amazing. First of all, we start off with this cute cartoony art. This is part of a video game, and then we see the main character. And I love this. I love this art. It is so kawaii, and the characters look amazing, and these expressions. And we've got a big old blush sound effect. Haha, thanks. So tall. Sorry, but I gotta go. So I'm sold on this series. Debuts this week, 4 issues. For the old school anime and manga fans, Ablaze is publishing a new space pirate Captain Harlock. We've got the regular cover by Derek Chu. We've got a million covers here. We've got a Kendrick Lim. We've got another, the Andy Tong one. This is the one that I ordered. I love them all. This is the one I'm ordering. It's a wraparound cover. I'm a sucker for wraparound covers, but all of these covers are amazing. This Derek Chu one, they're just all amazing. What's the Plot? From the legendary Leiji Matsumoto, along with Jerome Alquier, comes an epic new story set within the timeline of the original series. This brand new Captain Harlock adventure marks the beginning of a new story arc. So Ablaze is bringing us the brand new stories of everyone's favorite space pirate. Which cover are you getting? There's so many to choose from. Yes, we've got another Peach Momoko Demon Days story. Now I'm slightly confused though because I didn't know these were one-shots. I thought they were more complete series, but I guess that makes sense. Anyway, Peach Momoko, amazing artist, the artist of 2020. Marvel snatched her up, gave her a contract. She's drawing and writing complete stories for Marvel. You usually just saw her covers, but here they gave her the range of a variety of Marvel properties. Yes, it is a one-shot. Okay, 40-page. Big 2 of 5 of the Demon Day Saga, but it's a one-shot. What does that mean? So it's a one-shot for Mariko, but it's part 5 of her big overarching series. Demon Days was the previous one. Yeah, I guess that just makes it a little complicated when you order it. What are you actually ordering? So anyway, amazing Peach Momoko cover, amazing Peach Momoko interior art right over here. Amazing, look at that. I want every single cover. I'm going with the regular Momoko cover, but there's a bunch of covers. We've got over here the Mahmoud Azrar cover, looks very cool as well. We've got a J. Scott Campbell that I'm going to have to redraw for him someday. And then we've got a Stan Sakai cover. This is pretty deep. If you got Stan Sakai's Usagi Yojimbo Wanderer's Road, that was Peach Momoko doing covers for Stan Sakai work. Here, flip the switch, we've got Stan Sakai doing a cover for a Peach Momoko work. It's Inception, layers upon layers. But I got the Peach Momoko cover, and I just also ordered the Stan Sakai cover because it's Stan Sakai. And the number 1 pick for this week, the Milestone Universe is back. The classic imprint of the 90s, with a variety of black creators bringing their voice to comics. It's back. Starting off with Static Season 1. There's a bunch of variant covers. Ooh, that one's pretty cool. This old school version from Sean Martinborough. We've got a Nicholas Draper Ivy new school variant cover. This is the one that I want, the Olivier Copiel foil cardstock cover. Give me some of that 90s goodness gimmick covers. And then the regular cover by Carrie Randolph. All of these I really like. If you don't know about Static from the cartoon or the original comics, basically bullied nerd Virgil Hawkins wasn't the kind of kid you'd normally find on the streets at a protest. But like everyone else in the city of Dakota, he was fed up. An experimental tear gas gave him superhero powers. Now with new powers, he has responsibility to use them. I like that they're taking these classic characters of the 90s, infusing them with the social issues of today. I've got the whole series reserved and I can't wait to read these. And that was this week's list. What did you think? What did you like? What did you dislike? What am I missing? Did you pick up anything that I recommended? Tell me all about it in the comments down there. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, battle the Minotaur, do all that good stuff. If you really like my content, consider pressing the join button right here in YouTube to be part of the VMC crew and unlock perks, or go over to Patreon and do the same thing. I would really appreciate it. If you can't pledge at the moment, no worries, simply enjoy my stuff. This has been the weekly VM Campos Comic Book Club, and I'll see you next week.